The ocean is hiding monsters. This drop of water can find them. Imagine you're holding a glass of seawater. Ordinary, clear, cold. Now imagine that inside that glass, invisible to the naked eye, is a complete record of every creature that passed through those waters in the last 48 hours. A whale, a shark, something that has never been named by science, something so large it shouldn't exist, all of it, in one glass of water. That's not imagination. That's happening right now. And it's about to change everything we think we know about life on this planet. The ocean has layers. The part we know, sunlit shores, coral reefs, the shallows, that's less than 5% of the total ocean volume. A thin, bright film, stretched across the surface of something ancient and impossibly deep. Below it is the twilight zone, hundreds of meters down where sunlight fades to a cold blue ghost of itself. Below that, the midnight zone. Complete darkness, freezing temperatures, pressure that would crush an unprotected human body in seconds. And below even that, the abyss. Trenches so deep that Mount Everest could sink into them and disappear without a trace. Here's the thing almost nobody talks about. We have better maps of the surface of Mars than we do of our own ocean floor. The most alien world in the known universe isn't orbiting a distant star. It's a few kilometers beneath the waves. And it is absolutely full of life. Every single night, without fail, something extraordinary happens across every ocean on this planet. Trillions of animals begin to rise. Fish, squid, shrimp, jellyfish. They ascend hundreds of meters from the deep into the shallower, cooler water above to feed. And then, before sunrise, they sink back down into the dark. It is the largest daily animal migration on Earth. It involves more biomass than any land migration in recorded history. It has been happening every night for millions of years. And most people have never heard of it. These animals aren't just traveling for food. When they descend each morning, they carry carbon from the surface down into the deep, acting as a biological elevator for one of the ocean's most powerful climate systems. They are essential, irreplaceable, and we still don't fully understand what's making that journey, because we've never been able to watch it closely enough. Here is a rule of the deep that sounds like it belongs in a myth. The further you go from the sunlight, the bigger things tend to grow. Giant squid, colossal squid, oarfish stretching nearly 20 meters, giant isopods that look like armored tanks, spider crabs with legs spanning 2 meters across. Scientists call it deep-sea gigantism. Food is scarce down there, so animals that grow larger survive longer between meals. Colder water slows the metabolism, allowing bodies to keep building, and with none of the shallow water predator pressure that keeps surface creatures compact. Things just keep going. Now consider the colossal squid, up to 14 meters long, the largest eyes ever recorded on any animal, the size of dinner plates, built to detect the faintest bioluminescent flicker in total darkness, the most powerful beak of any invertebrate alive. And here is what stops you cold. We have never filmed a living adult. Not once. In all of human history, we know it exists because of the circular scars it leaves on sperm whales, because of the rare dead specimens pulled from Antarctic waters, because of fragments and shadows and evidence left behind. The largest predatory invertebrate on Earth, and we have never watched it hunt. For decades, this was how we studied the deep ocean. Build an extraordinarily expensive machine, lower it into the dark, aim a camera at nothing, and wait. It is the scientific equivalent of driving through a continent the size of a planet, at night, with one headlight, hoping something walks in front of you. Deep-sea expeditions cost millions of dollars and take years to organize. A single research vessel covers a fraction of the ocean floor, and even when something is spotted, it's a shape, a blur, a shadow vanishing back into black water before the camera can focus. The ocean is too vast, the creatures too fast, the dark too absolute. There had to be a better way. Every living thing leaves a trail. A whale surfaces and exhales, a squid moves through open water, a fish grazes a rock. Each time, something is left behind. Skin cells, mucus, microscopic biological fragments drifting into the surrounding water. They don't last long, hours, maybe days. But in that window, the water itself is carrying a record of who has been there. Scientists call it environmental DNA, eDNA. The concept is almost unfairly elegant. Instead of hunting the animal, you collect the water where it has been, and you read what the water remembers. A small pump, a fine filter, a sealed sample container, that's the entire field kit. Back in the lab, researchers extract that biological material and sequence it. What comes back isn't just one species. It's dozens, sometimes more. A complete invisible guest registry of every creature that moved through that location. Not just what happened to swim past a camera, every single one. One drop of water, an entire ecosystem, decoded. Here's where it gets extraordinary. Because eDNA doesn't stop working at the surface. Researchers have now deployed it at depth, in the mesopelagic zone, in Antarctic waters, in the deep twilight belt where colossal squid are believed to live and hunt. Teams have begun collecting water samples, specifically targeting colossal squid DNA, not chasing a body, not hoping for a sighting, just collecting the invisible trail a living animal leaves as it moves through cold, dark water, and following it back to the source. And the results are already rewriting what we thought we knew. Where these animals range, how deep they go, how widely they're distributed across the Southern Ocean. We haven't captured the footage yet, but for the first time in history, scientists can say with certainty, the colossal squid was here, in this water, recently. We can prove it. That is not a small thing. That is a revolution. Remember the number from the beginning. 90% of the DNA collected from the deep ocean doesn't match anything in our records. Not a known fish, not a cataloged microbe. Scientists call these organisms dark taxa, life forms that exist. We can see their genetic signatures, but that have never been physically documented, never photographed, never described. We don't know their size. We don't know their shape. We don't know if they are microscopic or monstrous. What we know is this. There are potentially millions of species in the ocean that science has never named, and eDNA is finding them, not one by one, but in sweeping, stunning waves. Every new water sample from the deep expands the list of unknowns, not because the ocean is becoming more mysterious, but because we are finally, for the first time, looking properly. We have put humans on the moon, landed rovers on Mars, photographed a black hole 55 million light-years away, and the deepest parts of our own planet remain the greatest unexplored territory in the known universe. But right now, in our lifetimes, that is changing. Not with luck, not with a camera pointed at darkness and a prayer, but with the quiet, invisible record that water carries everywhere it goes. The ocean has never stopped leaving clues. We just learned how to read them.